Take your Empire sheet and place it before you. Take your 6 gift tiles, your building counters, and the figures of your Empire's mortals and gods, and put them next to your Empire sheet. The first player then takes her action. She takes only one action, which typically costs 1 or more power. After she takes her action, the next player in line takes an action. Then the next, circling around until it returns to the first player. She then takes her second action, so on and so forth. When you run out of power, you can't take any more actions, sitting idly as the other players continue the action phase. When everyone is out of power, the action phase ends and the game continues to the power phase. At game start, only 4 actions are available. These are: build. You can build a shrine on any area that doesn't have a building. And you don't need a unit on the area. Simply pay the shrine's cost of 1 power and place it. If you already have a shrine on the area, you can upgrade it. To upgrade it to a temple, pay 2 power and replace your shrine. You can replace your temple with a ziggurat by paying 3 power. Some factions are exceptions to these rules, notably Chaos. Units. 4 types of units exist. Most factions have 4 minions, who cost 1 power each, a hero who costs more, 3 lesser gods, and a greater god. Summon. All units have a cost in power. You can summon 1 unit on your turn as an action. Units must be summoned to an area where you already have a building. Simply pay the unit's cost and place it on the area. Unit costs range from 1 to 4 but can cost more depending upon the unit. Most greater gods have a requirement, which must be met before they can be summoned. Often, you need a temple in play. You don't have to summon the god at the temple. You simply need to have a temple somewhere on the map. Move. To move, pay 1 power and select an area in which you have units. You can then move any units on the area onto 1 or more adjacent areas. You can move into oceans freely. You can also use these special travel arrows to skip over some oceans. The game includes some special areas, notably the Sky Dome and Hell. To enter the Sky Dome, you simply move to it from the spike, or any land area along the north or south borders of the map. The Sky Dome consists of 2 areas, mutually adjacent to each other, as well as to these areas. The only way to enter Hell is through this land area on the west side of the map. Later in the game, the oceans will open up into Hell as well. Hell, such as the Sky Dome, consists of 2 areas mutually adjacent. The only place you can normally exit Hell is here, at the Gates of Dawn. Kylrella is a floating island, which can move around the seas of Glorantha. When you have units or a building here, you can activate Kylrella for movement, and then it can move as well as your units. Combat. To declare a battle, you must have 1 or more units containing enemy units and/or buildings. Pay 1 power and the battle commences. All units have a combat rating. For minions and most lesser gods, this is 1. Heroes and greater gods are usually higher. Roll dice equal to the total combat rating of all your units. And your enemy does the same. For each 6 you roll, you inflict 1 kill on your enemy. For each 4 or 5, you inflict a rout. Some buildings participate in their own defense. After dice are rolled, each player chooses which units are affected. First, eliminate units equal to the kills that hit you. Then set aside whichever units were routed. They must all go to the same area, chosen by your opponent. Conquest Destruction. You don't need to roll dice when fighting buildings by themselves. They can't be killed or routed. A building with combat potential still inflicts its result, however. For instance, a temple adds an automatic route. If, after the battle, one side has a lone building on the area, while the other side still has units, the building can be conquered or destroyed. To destroy the building, simply remove it. To conquer it, replace it with an identical building from your pool. For instance, you can attack a lone shrine, and then replace it with one of your own. If you attack the building, you can only conquer it if you have an identical building in your building pool. Otherwise, you have to destroy it. Hero quests and gifts. On the right-hand side of your faction sheet, there are groups of slots for your gifts. To gain these gifts, you'll need to achieve the hero quest described on the sheet. The moment one of these tasks is completed, immediately choose a gift from those available to you and place it on your faction sheet. For the rest of the game, that gift is yours to command. For instance, building your ziggurat earns a gift for almost every player. A huge part of the game strategy is which gifts you choose and which hero quests you are trying to perform at any given moment. Some gifts provide an action only you can use. Others have ongoing effects that manifest throughout the game. Some are mighty one-use cataclysms that only hit once and require timing. They are different from every player and make your faction far more effective. For instance, every hero has a gift, especially boosting him or her in combat.